how's it going? It's Bato, host of Share the Journey podcast. Today we're on episode number 4. This is the podcast where we share the journey on whatever goal a guest is working on to really dig deep into it and really figure out what it takes and really see the beauty behind the journey. So today's guest, you guys, he's the creator of a dance that you've probably attempted to do or have done, and the dance is the floss. I want to welcome the BackPackKid. Welcome,
What's
bro.
going on, man?
Yeah, 5 months ago we met, and now we're here today, digging a little bit deeper in your journey on what it takes to, become an actor, and everything that you've also, been a part of, other things like music, etc., but also the journey of the BackPackKid. This episode's special because I feel like you have a unique journey of just like your life.
Yeah.
And we're going to be digging into that and talking about that. But I'm really excited for this. But yeah, again, welcome.
Glad to be here, man. Let's get it.
So I remember I was walking and I saw you, and I think you were recording TikToks.
I probably was.
You was recording TikToks, and we were talking.
I probably was.
I like bumped by you, and I was like, "Yo, what's good?" And so you're recording TikToks, and we had a conversation. I was kind of telling you about like LifeResume stuff that I'm trying to work on.
Yeah.
Podcast stuff and everything, app stuff.
We met a couple times on the Beltline, huh?
Yeah, I think the other time was like you had your hoverboard. I was on my skateboard, and we just kind of went past each other. It was like a dap up,
just rolling around town.
But no, the first time we met, what I really kind of liked is, we had a conversation and everything. You were like, yo, I'm going to continue. I got to get back to my work. Like, you were continuing your work stuff because you were, like, recording.
Yeah.
And I think you had, like, a jug of, like, a gallon of water or something. And you had, like, the phone propped up.
Hydrated.
Yeah. So,
Staying hydrated.
Yeah, so I know that's when we spoke and just kind of met and everything. But, I'd love for you to, like I said, the vision of the podcast is sharing that journey. And even like myself, when I spoke to you briefly, you started telling me about like acting.
Yeah.
And like music.
Yeah.
And at that time, I wasn't really like actively following you or like what you were up to and everything. Obviously, like known of you, heard of you, like, like others. And when you mentioned acting, I was like, yo, that's pretty cool,
Hey.
And I was like, it'd be perfect to talk about like that journey.
Yeah.
But I want to take steps back, like a lot of steps too.
Yeah, absolutely.
Like
absolutely.
prior to.
Everything got roots. Everything has roots.
Everything has roots. And I want to go prior to like, before you were in the room trying out different dances before the social media, like in the very, very early days, like what was that initial thing that sparked you to maybe like get a little bit in the creative space? Because, we all grow up, we do different things, like, you try different things, but you're kind of, music, acting, dance, it's in the creative space.
No, absolutely.
When was the first time you noticed like tapping into the creative space?
Oh, my whole life. Yeah, just growing up, I was always a kid that always wanted to grab the attention of everyone in the room. I wanted you to know that I was there. I was always seeking attention everywhere I go, and I would get that attention one way or another, whether it was doing something annoying or just doing this or that or whatever. And I've just always had a knack for doing weird, quirky things that were not normal. Yeah. And people could call it weird. I call it creative. It's whatever you want to call it. But just anything outside of seeing what you see every day is, I feel like, a step closer towards your creative energy coming out more and more. Yeah. And so just kind of sticking with your intuition of... Sticking with your intuition as you go about life and as you do things a little bit more creatively than everyone else, just because you have that creative intuition, that's just what will make you shine more and more, if you know what I mean.
Yeah, absolutely.
As long as you keep going with your creative intuition, new things will just pop out that you didn't even see before.
No, definitely. Do you remember if there was like a
specific moment?
A specific spark? It doesn't necessarily have to be like the aha moment. It could be more so like, this is where I like attempted something, then I figured out like, whoa, this is cool. Could it be like a dance move? I'm thinking from a dance perspective, but I don't know. Like,
I mean, when I was dancing a lot more when I was younger, it was just creative intuition. I was like, turn on music, dance. No music, dance. Yeah. Music or not, whatever, camera, whatever, dance. Yeah. And I was just dancing. Yeah. I just enjoy it. I would say I have a passion for physical movement. I like to work out. I really like to work out. I like to run. Anything that's good for you. Dancing is good cardio. Yeah. I was dancing a lot, getting some great cardio in type thing. But I would say I have a passion for physical movement. So dancing is just a big part of that. Yeah. Yeah. And I've always been naturally like coordinated, like hand-eye coordinated, balance coordinated. I've always been physically aware of how my body is moving and everything. Like, especially when it comes to rhythm and everything, I've always just been always just been good at that. So that's just kind of what I've been. That's kind of where my creative intuition goes towards, like rhythm and stuff, and dance is all a part of that.
Yeah. How old were you when you first started, like maybe like starting to dance? Like, do you remember?
Like 13, 14.
13, 14?
Yeah, no, when I started seeing a bunch of like Instagram dancers start going viral and stuff, it was young. I was young. It was like when the Instagram logo was still brown.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, you could only post 15-second videos and they were all square format. That's around the time when I started getting into dancing because I saw so many people online doing it.
Yeah, no, definitely. That makes total sense. And you've always lived in like Lawrenceville area, Brookwood area?
Yeah,
Have you always lived there?
Yeah. I lived in the Lawrenceville, Brookwood area until I was 20.
Yeah.
And then moved my life to Atlanta.
That's where we met.
Yeah, moved my life to the city where we met.
Yeah.
And it's been an interesting change. It's so much more creative energy. Like in Gwinnett or in any of just the burbs of the city.
Yeah.
It's just a slower version of the city, but we move it.
You know where I went to high school?
Where'd you go?
I went to Central Gwinnett.
You went to Central Gwinnett.
So
I know exactly where that is.
Yeah.
But it's just because you gotta drive 40 minutes to get to the city and everything. It's just a slower moving city, but we trying to move. We trying to get with it. We trying to get with it.
100%,
So had to move out to the city where stuff is going on.
I'm gonna pour some pomegranate juice. That's
okay,
cool.
Yeah.
Cool. I wanted to ask you something else too. So I know that you mentioned before that. So your mom's an entrepreneur.
Yeah.
Right. And she has so what was it specifically in like balm?
Thank you. Yeah, my mom she creates she creates lip balm.
Yeah.
And like balm that you rub on your like dry skin,
Yeah.
and it helps like moisten your skin and everything.
Yeah.
So that's what she's been doing ever since I was 10, 11, maybe even younger. She's been doing it a little while.
Yeah. What about her like being like in an entrepreneur space? Did that ever kind of like? Do you notice that now in your life, kind of tapping into like?
No, absolutely. My mom, she's always been creative. She's always been open minded about like following your dreams, following your passions, and she's a really big reason how I was able to get to this point because. You can't just be 15 years old and travel the world without parent consent.
Yeah.
So it's big thanks to my mom for letting me travel the world.
Yeah.
Like a lot of parents, they wouldn't let their parents do that. I mean, they wouldn't let their kids do that, and then like BackPackKid would have never been a thing.
Yeah.
If BackPackKid couldn't go around traveling everywhere.
So where do you think some of your creativity came from?
A lot of my creativity definitely came from I would say my mom and just a lot of the kids I was hanging around with when I was younger. I would say I'm the most like exuberant one in my family besides my mom. My mom is very extroverted as well. Yeah. My dad very introverted. My other siblings very introverted. Doesn't really talk a lot. But then there's me and my mom just out here going crazy, talking to everyone about everything ever. And like that's just I feel like that's just where I get my creative my creative notation from really.
Yeah. No, definitely. I will say something to you, and I'm not like trying to just like talk like too much about you on certain things, but I wanted to say like I wanted to say I respect your personality.
Thank you.
Yeah, like no, for real. No, I gotta say that.
No, absolutely. No, I appreciate that.
Yeah, I've recently like since we spoke, I started like just following you and things like getting to understand you a bit better.
I'm just trying to find a good time, man. And just like anybody else, I'm just looking for a good time.
Nah, most definitely. But one thing I want to say about you is like you've been consistent since like a really young age, and personality wise, and like knowing yourself.
Yeah.
Like
that's all a part of it.
Yeah, knowing yourself, and no matter if someone said something, you're like, nah, that's not my style.
Yeah.
That's not my vibe. Yeah. I'm not trying to go that direction, but that's cool. Like that's just not me.
No, absolutely.
From a very young age, but it's like you could have easily swayed to the other side, but you always been like, nah, I like this.
Yeah, exactly.
I like that,
exactly. And like you just gotta know what you like, know what you want to do, and just do it.
Yeah.
And just do it.
No, so definitely, I respect that. I just wanted to say that because
and like everyone's different.
Yeah.
Like if you do you. I don't
100%.
disagree with it, but like it's just not for me.
Yeah, 100%.
That's why I'm not usually the type of person that expresses my opinion about something before you ask. Like I'm not just gonna be like, oh, I don't like your outfit. If you ask me, I'm gonna be like, yo, I don't like your outfit.
Yeah.
But who's asking me, right? Unless I ask. Because it's not
That's
me,
true.
it's you. Like
That's
I'm
true.
not gonna say anything about it. It's you.
Yeah.
It's you. Like this is me. If I ask you for your opinion, yes, please tell me your honest your review on it. But who's asking you? Unless we're asking you, right?
No, for sure.
So I think just kind of sticking to myself, and that's kind of how you figure out what you like and what you don't like. I feel like just kind of going off of your own intuition on what you see and what you hear, and just life in general.
Yeah, you know what's crazy though? You just turned 20.
I just turned 21.
21, is that?
Yeah.
Okay, 21. Okay, so now you could. Okay, gotcha.
Yeah, now I can drink legally.
Now you could drink. So this would have been wine, but it's pomegranate juice. No, I'm kidding. It's always pomegranate juice. But all right, 21. That's huge. So when I met you though, I honestly thought you were a little bit older. I don't know. I think it was from the conversation we had.
Probably.
You know, I was like,
I feel you.
And I left that, and I was like, I just like, I thought you were older, to be honest. So when it was your birthday recently, I was like, oh wow, like.
Yeah. No, I
like,
mean,
you're still young, super young.
I think being in the situation that I was in so young, it kind of forced me to grow up a little bit faster because I was hanging around a lot of like a lot of my business partners were of course adults, and like they were putting me on game a lot of the times as a youngin. Whether I was listening or not, it would always be they were right, I was wrong. Because when you're a kid, you think you're right all the time until you realize you're wrong. And it's like, oh, okay, I see the people that are telling me, or like just like my parents and everything too, just the adults, all these adults in my life that were like really productive in this space or in this space, in this space. It helped me develop a more mature mindset early on.
Yeah, no, for sure. And what I also noticed is it seems like the last like 1, 2, 3 years of your life has been like huge to you.
Right? Absolutely.
But what's crazy is you're only 21.
Yeah.
I don't know why I was thinking 20.
No.
Literally this whole time.
That's what I be thinking. That's what I be thinking. Like I'm just getting started.
Yeah, but I was like,
21.
Yeah, and I was thinking
like if I chose the college route, I'd be a junior.
Yeah.
Like I'm literally not even done with like the college like the college age yet.
100%. And I was just thinking, I was like, man, you just, you're only 21.
I'm 21.
And you've you're
wow.
like, or you're like, am I 20 maybe? Or
yeah,
like,
I was
maybe
Amato's
right, yo.
I was just 19. Like what happened?
No, but no, I just want to say like it's crazy how you've already experienced a lot of things in your life, made a strong transition that most people make in their late 20s, 30s, 40s, 50s.
Early
and you caught that at a younger age. And we'll go room
for more transition too.
Yeah, you're going to look back at this version of yourself and be like, oh wow. Like,
when I'm 25, I'm going to be like, when I was 21, I was doing this.
Yeah.
Like now that I'm 21, I'd be like, oh, when I was 18, I was doing this. Yeah. When I was 15, I was doing this.
Yeah, no, absolutely.
So, life is a learning lesson all the time.
Absolutely. And we're going to go back to like where we kind of started about the dance, right? So the creativity from a very young age, at 13 years old, started tapping into like, dancing, music, etc. So you joined Instagram first. Was that like your go-to platform?
Yeah.
Like that was
definitely.
the main?
Because my Instagram videos, when I started posting Instagram videos, they started popping off like almost immediately, which is a blessing.
Yeah.
Because there be people that are posting 3, 4, 5 videos a day for 3, 4, 5 years.
Yeah.
And none of them ever get views or likes or whatever. And mine just started popping off so quickly, and I'm really grateful for that.
And were those like specifically just dance?
Yeah, pretty much. It was just dancing to remixes of kids songs or some dub smashes or some Triller songs.
And how often were you pumping out content? Was it like super like?
That's a great question. I would say probably like once or twice or 3 times a week.
Yeah.
Because it's just a quick 15-second video.
Were you the only one in your friend group doing that? Were you like the first, like in your inner circle, or did you see people online and get influenced?
That's pretty much how it is. And then my inner circle started kind of getting along with it because I saw what was happening.
Yeah.
Yeah. But I mean, that's just kind of how influence works. Like you're on social media all the time, you're gonna get influenced by things you see.
100%.
Especially when you're young.
So let's go back to it. You're in the room.
Yeah.
And you start like,
dancing. Yeah.
You start dancing, and then, with the floss dance, right? How does it go? You say like, I think you gave a tutorial once or something, whatever. It was
like out.
Open your legs like
open
first.
Your legs at like a 90-degree angle or shoulder width.
Yeah.
Something like that. I've had to teach probably thousands of people how to do the dance.
Yeah, and then in that moment, do you remember that moment of when you first did it? Like right now, obviously you probably do, but like, could you like? Do you remember?
Not vividly.
No.
It was just kind of a blur. I mean, because then like I started showing it to people around and stuff, and they're like, "Oh, that's pretty cool." But I mean, like just doing other dances as well.
Yeah.
Kind of, but like just doing the floss in the dance videos that I was doing, it was just that about it that people liked the most. Out of all the dances I could have been doing, I could have been doing anything.
Before the floss became the floss, did you have a name for it, or it wasn't? It didn't hit like you didn't even think it was been.
I think I called it like the Russell or something.
The Russell. That's trademark instantly. It's the Russell.
The Russell, yeah. And then people just started calling it the floss, and I was like, okay.
Yeah. You're like, dang, y'all got it. That's a better name.
Yeah, no, y'all got it. No, pretty much. And the thing you gotta realize about people is that like whatever they want to call something, they're gonna call it. So it's either go with it or don't go with it and be mad that they're going with it.
Yeah, literally.
So it's like either go with it or just be angry that they're not calling it what you want to call it.
Yeah, that's true.
So
that's true.
I just chose the not be angry at it route and go with it.
No, for sure. So after like kind of on the dance side, everything, when did you kind of notice like for yourself, like, okay, I'm starting to gain some traction from the world to notice. There's noticing me, you know. Not that you were trying to get noticed. I'm not saying like that was your intention.
I never was. Yeah,
but
when did you get my friends?
Yeah, when did you get that first feel that was like, okay, like whoa, like people are actually like really.
I actually remember that. I remember I was at my friend's house and I got an Instagram notification that some like big meme page like 700K reposted one of my dance videos, and I was getting a lot of followers. I was getting a lot of likes, and then from that person posting it, a bunch of other meme pages started posting it like that same day. The same day, like I started getting a bunch of followers, and I got really excited. I told my friend, I was like, "Yo, shout out, followers," because that's what 15-year-olds, 16-year-olds, everything. They're like, "Whoa, what?" And so like I call my mom, come pick me up. I got to go home, make a bunch of videos right now. Yeah. Went home and pumped out a bunch of dance videos and just posted them. And then they started posting all these, and then they just started getting posted everywhere.
What did your parents say at that time? Like, how did they find out? Did you go up to them one day? You're like, "Yo, mom, check this out."
I think I did. Yeah. That's exactly what I did. That's exactly what I did. Yeah. And then my mom started following me pretty early on to make sure I wasn't posting any like weird stuff. Yeah. As a parent should when you're 15, 100%. 16. Yeah. I could have been posting anything.
Yeah. And then after that, when was the first time that like someone reached out to you for something? Like, did you like assume you probably got some gigs, like something?
Pretty quickly. That's a good question. Yeah, I started doing like music video appearances around the city. I did like one in Nashville. Yeah, because that's what people are looking for. They're looking for like that newest like influence, especially for dance, especially because that was a big time on Instagram for dance culture. Yeah. And so like this white boy just going around dancing, doing funny dances, silly dances everywhere. Yeah. Like that I guess it just kind of fit in with that time period.
Yeah. And then boom, you get a call from Katy Perry.
Her team actually emailed my team.
Emailed your team. How was that like when your team was like, "Hey, like we just got this email." How was that first like?
We were all like, "This is fake as hell." Yeah. This is fake. Duh.
You're like spam.
Yeah. Katy Perry obviously didn't just hit us up to be on Saturday Night Live. But then we kept emailing back, and they got us the flights to New York, and we were like, "Okay, this is happening."
Yeah. And then when you got there, did they have a game plan of like, this is what like you're gonna be doing, or like?
Yeah. I mean, there's a lot of waiting around, especially for rehearsal, because you kind of just go for what you're there to do and wait until the day's over and then you leave, come back. Yeah. We had 2 rehearsal days, Thursday and Friday. I got to miss 2 days of school. I remember. Told all my friends, watch Saturday Night Live this Saturday night. Went back to school Monday, a legend.
Wow.
Went back to schoal Monday, a legend.
How was that actually?
That was pretty fun. That was really fun because when I was at that age, I was like I really just like attention. I knew I was gonna go into school Monday like, I don't know, everyone's about to come up to me, tell me about Saturday Night Live and everything, gonna say good job, all the people that didn't like me beforehand about to start acting brand new. And so I kind of just rolled along with that, and I was like, all these people are about to start being all nice all of a sudden, and like, that just comes with it. That just comes with it. Like, you gotta do what you gotta do.
Yeah, and while you're dancing up there, like, I don't think people realize, like, when you're doing like the floss that fast, it could take like you were doing it quick, right? Like,
I mean, like I do it so easily.
Yeah, you do it so easily, but it's like imagine like, oh no, let's just say like a little.
There was 13 million people watching live.
But exactly. Let's say you were a little bit nervous and your wrist just like, let's say it just taps.
That's what I was thinking the whole time. I was like, don't mess up.
Yeah, because if that wrist just hits you, you just go off a little. Because people actually thought it was fast forwarded in a way because you were doing it so quick. It was like perfect. Yeah. It was literally perfect.
Yeah. No, we planned it out for a couple of days. We had to make sure it went well.
No, that was perfect.
Katy, I love Katy Perry. Is the nicest person ever. So nice. It's almost inspiring how nice she is because she just kind of sat there like while she was getting her hair and makeup done. Just sat there and had a whole like 30-minute conversation with my mom about just like my brother being in the military, and she said thank you for your service. Wow. And then I told my brother, hey, Katy Perry just told you thank you for your service in the military. Yeah. He was like, oh wow. That's pretty crazy, but like that's inspiring, especially as a young person seeing 100%. Someone in that position that doesn't have to be that nice to everyone. Be nice to everyone, but like that's why I feel like she deserves everything she's been given.
Wow, and that's great. Like like that was like your intro to I don't know, like it doesn't really matter about who's famous or whatever.
That was
like your intro to fame, and, to meeting someone, And
absolutely.
like to
everything
your growth.
Before that was on the internet. That was like a real life moment of fame.
Yeah, but it's like the experience that she gave you.
Yeah, no.
Imagine if it was someone else, it could have been completely
Like, she didn't have
off.
to do that.
No.
She didn't have to do that at all.
So the fact that it was like, she gave you that feeling that you still have to this day, like you understand how that made you feel.
Absolutely.
You know? It's
Absolutely.
like, wow, like, shout out Katy Perry.
And yeah, no, and that's what, and the thing is, like, people think I'm, like, best friends with her or something. I've never had contact with her outside of in person.
Yeah.
So, because probably because I was young and she didn't want to be texting a 15-year-old kid.
Yeah.
So the thing is, since we've never had contact outside of in person, that wasn't the last time we met. We've met 3 times ever. One was for one was for an Xfinity commercial we were doing. And then the third one was a performance that she did in Atlanta. She invited me to come out and dance on stage with her.
Yeah.
So after that third time we met, we've just never seen each other since. But that's one of my like life goals going forward. Get to a position to where I can meet her again naturally. Because the thing about Katy Perry is that, like, she's an A-list. She only goes to A-list events like Saturday Night Live and a bunch of other things like that. So I got to get to a point where I'm invited to an event for something else I do in the future. Yeah. To where I can meet her again. And oh my gosh, that moment when I get to just hug Katy Perry again and be like, how have you been these past few years or decades or whatever? Because it's going to happen. I don't know when.
Yeah.
I don't know when, but it's going to happen. And, like, that's just one of my goals, to be able to meet her just naturally again.
You know, it'd be amazing too. Like, speaking of like goals and journey and everything,
Yeah.
is obviously like whether you're pursuing in the acting space, and you kind of mentioned before, like, music is shorter term, acting is like for a long time.
Yeah.
And it would be dope if, like, maybe at that time, like, you know, you're at the goal of like acting and everything.
No,
so now when you come full circle, it's like, she first met you when you started dancing, and now it's like you're more fulfilled in life.
Absolutely. And that's the goal. And that like the floss was more of a phase. Like, it put me in a position to do what I want with the rest of my life.
The floss catapulted you.
Yeah.
To be able to do whatever you want to do, even if you didn't do dance.
Yeah.
And you were never
whatever I want to do, I can do it with this position.
Exactly. But let's say you never did the floss.
Yeah.
You're still the same person.
That is true.
You're still the same person.
I just wouldn't have that position and that platform to build off of.
You wouldn't have just been catapulted, but you still would have, like, you would have kept going towards the direction.
Absolutely. So sometimes I'd be thinking about that, like, how would I be as a person if that just never happened? Yeah. Would I just be in college right now doing computer science or something?
Yeah.
Or, I've been thinking about that. Like, it doesn't matter. It's not what happened. I like to live in the present moment whenever I can. Yeah. But, like, where would I be? Like, what would I be doing? Like, I obviously wouldn't be traveling the world. Yeah. Like, what would I be doing? I don't know. I'll be thinking about that, but, like, I'll just never know. I'll just never know, because that just put me in a position to where life is just different. Yeah. And I'm grateful for it.
No, that's amazing, man. And I love that, like, everything that you're mentioning, like, that mental goal that you have, like...
to meet Katy Perry again?
Yeah,
that's
to meet her?
Yeah, that's crazy. Yeah, that's going to happen. It's going to feel so good.
It's like...
She's going to be like, I put you in that position, and I was glad I did, because I put the right person in that
it's
position
almost
to
like,
build off of.
It's almost like she invested in you in a way. Like,
exactly.
You know?
Like now when I get up doing something, she's going to be like, yeah.
Yeah,
I told y'all this kid was the one. I told y'all this kid was the one.
Oh, man. 100%.
Nah, that's gonna be one of the greatest moments of my life.
That's dope.
That's gonna be like, I'll be thinking about that just on the daily sometimes. Like whenever I feel like I'm down, whenever I feel like I should just give up, like, no, just keep going. You got this. There's nothing stopping you but yourself.
Yeah.
There's nothing stopping you but yourself. That's doable. You did it the first time.
100%.
You just did what you was doing, and Katy Perry reached out. It could happen a second time. It could be an even
100%.
bigger celebrity, and she's there. Whatever.
100%.
You never know what God has in store for you.
Yeah, man, 100%. And speaking of everything that you're mentioning, the catapult too, right?
Yeah.
And let's, like, because we also know that with like quick exposure to fame, it can come with a lot of pressure.
Absolutely.
And when you're 15, 16, 17, at least from my life experiences, like, you don't know yourself really.
Yeah, no, my mental health at that time was pretty bad.
So, like...
Pretty bad.
Yeah.
Good and bad. Like, I still had fun with my friends and everything, but, like, there would always be that doubt in my mind of, like, what even is life? Like, why is any of this happening?
Yeah.
Like, what is going on?
Yeah.
And, like, I just didn't feel like I had a lot of purpose.
And
that's a lot of kids that age, whether you're famous or not, honestly.
Yeah. No, for sure. 100%. And, like, wow. and I'm not even like trying to talk about like Life Resume and a project that I've been working on and everything, but like literally it says where passion and purpose finally have a platform.
Yeah.
But
that's when I started to actually like develop myself as a person. When I started to learn about what I like to do and what I wanted to do, because the floss is just a floss. Like, obviously you can't just do this dance. Obviously I was like, I can't do this dance forever. Let me find out what my passions are. So I started playing the piano. I started doing that pretty soon after I blew up when I was like 16, 17, 18 or something like that. I started getting into composing, which is also something I'm focusing on pretty heavily now. I'm trying to get into like film composition and stuff like that. Been having a lot of fun doing that.
Yo, I love that video you made recently.
The one on my Instagram?
I don't know how recent it was, but it was like, man, I can't do anything.
That was on TikTok.
You were on a piano, and you was like, man, I can't even do the drums.
Play the drums and play the guitar and stuff. Because, I mean, that's just what... Because you got to remember, everyone is human. Everyone that's watching you, they are human beings. They just want to see you grow.
Yeah.
If you're like, if I just sat there and I only did this dance, it'd be like, okay, bye, next dance creator. Yeah. But if you can show people that you actually like do something and that you're actually talented at doing something and you can like add value other than just this one thing that you did a few years ago, people are gonna stay and that'll keep you afloat.
Yeah, no, 100%. I want to ask you something. Identity, right? So you're like, what do you mean?
Like, you want my social security number, my credit card number?
Like your identity as a person, right? Yeah. You know, when you get something like attached to you, you know, like let's say like the dance, the floss dance, right? Was there any challenges that you had that like something was so tied to your identity as a person? Like it wasn't even like, yo, this is like Russell who loves to do this, this, and this, and has this goal. It's like, yo, that's the floss kid. That's the floss kid. I know it comes with the territory, but like, did you ever like, how'd you deal with that with yourself? You know, because it's a different challenge because you have it at scale. Yeah, it's the whole world. This is not like 2-3 friends. This is a couple million people that are like, yo, that's the floss kid. But you're also like, yeah, that's me. But like, I also like, yo, get to know me as a person, like who I am.
But honestly, it's all about how you look at it. Like, when I was doing the floss, I wasn't posting anything about who I was much. Yeah. It was just like this funny, silly little content here and there. Yeah. So, of course, I'm not going to expect people to come up to me and act like they know me. They don't know anything about me. All they know is this dance.
And you can't expect people these days to come up to you and try to get to know you, too.
Yeah, no.
Unfortunately,
that's
you know?
Like,
like, no one's going to be like, yo, so what do you like to do? Like, you know,
and like, I do have conversations like that with people, like when we had our conversation and everything, and I really appreciate those conversations, because people actually like to sit down and try to get to know me and try to understand, like, the situation that I've come from and why I don't necessarily prefer to be called a floss boy everywhere, but I'm also not mad at it either, because there's a lot of people that would love to be in a position where people come up to them on the street and just like recognize them and ask them for like a photo or anything. So like, it's really a blessing. But when people do come up to me, like if they do have time to talk, we'll talk, and like I'll tell them about what I'm doing now and like tune into my social medias and see what I've got going on, and have a great rest of your day. I hope all the best.
Yeah, no, absolutely, definitely. Do you remember when the first time, like, when you stepped outside and someone was, like, acknowledged, like, that you didn't know?
I don't remember the first time, but it was when I started going to the mall and stuff, and, like, 1 or 2 people would come up and be like, yo, can we do that dance? Can we do that dance together for a video or something? And then, like, it just went up and up and up and up. And even still to this day, I would say, like, I still get that same attention from people, because, like, my face hasn't gone anywhere. Like, I have that recognizable face, and, like, just seeing me out in public and like, as long as like, if you see and recognize my face, you'll be like, oh shoot, it's that kid. Yeah. So like, that attention has not died down at all, which I like it. I enjoy it. I like going out in public and then seeing folks. They be like, yo, it's BackPackKid, like here. Just interacting with people.
No, dude, that's cool. You can't change the hair, man. You gotta keep it.
I can't.
It's like, I'm stuck to this.
No. Sometimes I'll have a hoodie up. I won't even have my backpack on. I'll like have the strings tight so you can't.
You got that
see
baby face,
and
man.
People will still come up to me and be like, yo, ain't you the backpack? And I'm like, how did you know? Or even like across the whole store, people will come running up. Hey, aren't you the backpack? I'm like, how did you know? Oh, the hair. Wow. I guess it's the hair.
Have you ever played around with someone and be like, no, that's not me?
Oh, I do that all the time. To see if they go for it. Someone came up to me. They're like, "Hey, aren't you the backpack kid?" I'm like, "No." They're like, well, no, "Yeah, you are." And I'm like, "Oh, okay. Why'd you ask if you already knew?" Yeah. I'm like, I mean, yes, I am, but I'm just curious. Yeah. Like, if I'm saying no, and then you say I am, why'd you ask? Yeah. And then that kind of sparks the conversation. Like, it was obviously fun and games. I'm not mad. Yeah. But that just, like, sparks the conversation. And that's the thing. That's also the thing I love about it. It's like, when people come up to me and, like, they're asking questions like that, like, I can kind of just, like, play around with it, too, a little bit. Yeah. Like, I don't just have to be like, yeah. which at the end of the day I always do. Like, but like I can mess around and be like, where? Hold on, where is he?
Yeah.
Where is he? BackPackKid's here? And stuff like that. Like it's just fun. It's just fun.
Definitely. No, that's cool, man. So I didn't know you performed 3 times with Katy Perry. That's cool. So the last one was in Atlanta?
Yeah, that was in Atlanta.
That's dope. What year was that?
That might have been 2017 or 2018. I think it might have been late 2017.
Okay, gotcha.
Because Saturday Night Live was early, or it was like mid 2017.
Okay, and then around that time, you were also doing like, I know you did different podcasts.
Yeah.
You were doing like different commercials. You went to Chile. What was the name of that drink?
Oh, that was Viva.
You gotta roll the R. Yeah,
roll the R. Viva Mejor.
But so you got to like
that was fun.
Travel to different places for different things.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. I've done commercials all over the world for different stuff.
Yeah.
Like in Singapore, I did like they have like a phone cellular company.
Yeah.
Like the LTE of Singapore, one of the companies out there, a cell service provider or something. Mm-hmm. They're marketing themselves as like the world's fastest LTE service or something. Yeah. So they wanted the world's fastest flosser out here, the world's fastest jump roper and stuff. So they had a bunch of like Guinness Book of World Record holders there to do a commercial with them. Yeah. And stuff like that. I've just done around the world and stuff.
How many countries have you been to just for like specifically for floss? Like
I think 3.
3? That's cool.
4. I can't. Oh yeah, I did go to London, so 4. Yeah. Yeah, 4.
Yo, let's do a fun mixed question in here. What's your favorite country that you visited?
My favorite country? Oh my gosh. They're just so different. Yeah. Like Chile was beautiful, great culture. I love the food, love the people. I learned a lot of Spanish. Singapore, beautiful. Love the people, love the culture. Singapore it was like a No, Singapore is crazy. Singapore is it's like a cleaner New York. They have like a subway system and everything.
I heard.
Yeah, no, like cause like they're really, really, really clean. Yeah. Like really clean. Like I had a little gum wrap in my pocket. I was doing a little test. I was like, what if I pretend to put this in my pocket and I drop it? Yeah. And I just keep walking and I did it and like immediately someone came up and like
you were on the news the next day. They were like, we have one piece of garbage.
We have one piece of garbage from this guy. Yeah. Now someone came up to me and they tapped me on the shoulder and looked at it and like, And then they just walked away as I picked it up. I was like, oh my gosh, they are not playing around out here. Dang. They are clean.
So Singapore
was nice, but Chile just has that South American culture. It was really nice. It was really nice.
What about it? Was there something like?
I think the hospitality in Chile was stronger. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, and I did a meetup there, and there was like 300-400 people that came. Yeah. Chile just had they just have that culture. Yeah. They just have that culture.
Yo, speaking of meetup, wasn't there like at one time 700 people did the floss at once together?
I think that was for a Guinness Book of World Record. No, that was when the ball dropped on New Year's Eve.
They had like 700 people do it or something.
Oh, they had, I don't know how many people. A lot. A lot.
But they didn't have you. The main person.
Me. That's the thing.
The main person.
Yeah, I think there might, if I'm not mistaken, there is a Guinness Book of World Records record right now of the most amount of people doing the floss, and they did not invite me. Yeah. Which is like, wow. Dang. If I'm not mistaken, it might not have happened, but they reached out about it, but they didn't reach out about having me. They just reached out about saying we're gonna do it, which is weird, right? Yeah. How you gonna reach out to us and tell us?
What do you tell them to that when they're like, "Yo, we're about to do this"? We were like, "Don't invite you." You're just like, "Word, run it."
Yeah, like what do they expect? We're like, fly us out and have us be in it. Yeah. And they just kind of stopped responding. Yeah. It was like, what? Why'd you tell us this?
Yeah, it would have been dope. They should have had you like in the middle.
No,
or like
exactly.
Something like
that would have made it so much cooler.
Yeah.
I think that would have made it so much cooler. Yeah. Wow. But I mean, it is what it is.
Yeah. Yeah. No, definitely. Shoot. I know we keep kind of like we're in the timeline, but then we're moving around because there's so many things that are happening in that timeline. Yeah. But you're doing dancing, doing the different dance moves. Like you're now like shooting commercials and getting into that space. When do you start noticing that like, hey, like, when does acting start to spark, and when does music start to spark? Like the creating music.
So, I started playing the piano a few years after after this whole phase and everything, because that's when I was in my phase of realizing I got to figure out what I want to do.
Yeah.
I got to figure out how I want to plan my future and like learn my skill set and everything.
Yep.
And so that's how I started getting into music. I was taking lessons for a couple of years, learning music theory and everything. Found a great passion for that.
Wow.
The content I've been posting around that, people have been liking recently and everything.
Yeah.
Acting. I was actually doing acting camps when I was a kid.
Yeah.
I was doing a lot of acting camps when I was younger because I always had that crazy, wacky, goofy personality.
Yeah.
Thought it was just something that is on that creative level that I could pursue growing older.
Yeah, no, definitely. And right now, would you say like, are you evenly? How do you distribute your time? Because one thing that I'm always working on is compartmentalizing. Like I feel like for me, 2022. What are we in 23 right now?
Yeah,
2022. It was like I always have every year I have a word that sticks out to me about my life that year. And I feel like this past year for me was like compartmentalization. Like being able to, I probably just made the word up to be honest, but like compartmentalizing different components of my life because it's only so many things that you can do.
I like that.
You know? So like,
yeah, no, absolutely.
When I visually see mine, I know exactly what they are now. I have like 3 buckets of like where my focus is at, and that allows me to be able to move much quicker, streamline my thoughts, ideas, everything kind of works together because you're creative, right?
Yeah.
So you have acting, music, dance, it's all essentially like in a similar kind of like
it's
umbrella.
It's all creative, but it's still separate things.
Exactly. So right now, how are you compartmentalizing?
Yeah.
Like those things, and like
sure.
if you had to put a percent on it, like 30% here, like 20% here.
Yeah.
What does that look like right now?
Well, so the thing is, a lot of the work that I do nowadays is found more so on myself. Like I have a social media like agent that also gives me like deals and everything because that's my income. But I also like to go out and get a lot of my jobs myself, especially for out of social media things because off social media things because I don't have an agent for anything other than social media. Yeah. And what's crazy is I had a manager for that entire like from the jumpstart of BackPackKid up until November of 2020. But then he ended up passing away. Yeah. Yeah. So from that time period, from me being 15 to I think 18 or 19, he was doing all the business stuff. I was a kid. I was young. I was a kid. I was young. I didn't know what to do business wise. So he was doing all of that, and he did all the marketing and the business for BackPackKid, and he's a big reason why you even know who I am today. Yeah. So like he did all of that. He was going to LA with me and going like I saw how he works. Like he gets to it. But then like he taught me a lot before he ended up dying, and like I had to just kind of go with that, and he taught me a lot about really going after what you want, like for yourself. Don't rely on nobody else to get it for you. Nobody else is gonna want it for you as much as you want as you. So like whether I have agents or not, I'm still gonna be going out and trying to find the work for myself. I
never met him, but I could like feel him a part of you.
No, absolutely.
Do what you're speaking.
Yeah, and he was like my first major like death in my life.
Yeah, so I was also gonna say like for that, and we don't have to like speak too much into things, but like death in general is like it's
especially as like a business partner, because like I didn't know anything about his side of the business. Yeah, but it's either so I lost a lot of hope after he died. I was like everything's done for. Like I'm a creative person, whatever, but without the business side of things, there's no growth in the business. Yeah. Like, you can be creative all you want, but if you don't know anything about marketing or anything about how the percentages and taxes would work and everything, like, it's just going to go nowhere. And so I lost a lot of hope after that. Yeah. But I just kind of took what he taught me and learned more, and I'm still learning to this day to fill that part of the business, and that's kind of what I've been doing recently since his passing. Yeah. Just kind of focusing on how he would do it, because he was really, really good at what he did. Wow. Obviously, he brought up the BackPackKid. Like, I was just a little kid. I didn't know anything about business. He did all of that.
Yeah, and like I said, I never met him, but, shout out to, like the fact that, like, you had someone like that a part of your life.
Yeah, and he was almost kind of like I would say he was almost kind of like my father figure. Because my real dad, my parents divorced when I was younger. I really only see him on, like, holidays and stuff. Okay. So he was the one to really, like, set in stone, like, concepts and ways of life into me. Like he would never he would treat me like a kid. Like, he wouldn't just be like, oh yeah, do this, do whatever. He'd be like, no, like, this is not what you should be doing. Like, don't be getting into drugs. Don't be getting into this. Like, keep your mind focused. Don't be running around doing all this. Like he was setting stuff in stone for me, and like I really appreciate that. Yeah. I really appreciate what he was doing for me. Yeah. But yeah, life goes on. Like he wouldn't want me to stop.
Yeah, no, 100%. Yeah. And obviously at that age like that, and that was like I assume that was like your first time experiencing close death in your life.
No, absolutely. And that was my first time ever. Yeah.
Yeah. And, like, whoa. And I assume like that probably like
opened up my perspective on life.
Boom, beyond like business, beyond the fact that like like this loses the monetization part. This is like, was that like a shifting point in your life?
Yeah, no, because we were also obviously really close. We were doing business a lot together. Yeah. And that's the thing when you're doing business when you're doing business a lot with someone, like you're just with them a lot and you get to know them, they get to know you, and it was just, I would say it was just that's one of the changing points in my in my life. That's one of the things that I really, really grew from, because it happens to everyone eventually. Yeah. But yeah, you can't choose when. Yeah. Yeah.
Wow. No, man, and it all makes sense. I feel like sometimes like
everything happens for a reason. Yeah. Everything happens for a reason.
The thing is, sometimes like we see each other, right? Like for example, yourself. At the end of the day, like you're yourself, but in the space that you're in, you're also like a product, right? Yeah. Like in a way, you know?
I know exactly
you know what I
mean. I'm still the service of
exactly,
the business.
But there's someone behind that, and I always respect like behind the scenes. Yeah. The person that's giving
all the movies and stuff. Yeah. They have all these people that you see. This one person in front of the camera, but everyone behind here that you don't see. They're doing a lot of the work too.
So no, I respect that like that game that was passed down to you.
No, absolutely.
So when I'm saying like, yo, Russ, like I respect that part of like how you held yourself in this area. You're like that's you. Yeah. But it came from someone else too.
Yeah, no,
like,
absolutely. Because without him, I wouldn't have been able to know anything. Wow. I wouldn't have been able to know any of the things that he taught me. I would have had to go out and learn it and be like, man. I'm glad I knew it now. Yeah. Type thing.
And that's amazing. I know we talked about Katy Perry like full circle, but I know also, when you reach that goal, when you get to it, there's another feeling that you're gonna have from your manager.
Exactly,
feeling
type thing. Like
that's gonna be another level.
Gotta keep what we were doing. Cause a great quote I heard. It's like when you think you need a mentor, he appears. But then it was something like this. It's like when you think you need a mentor, he appears. But when God knows you're ready, he disappears or something like that. And so I was like, like maybe this is the time of my life where I don't need that mentoring as much anymore, because he taught me what he was there to teach me. Yeah. Because like everyone's always like nobody knows when they're gonna die. Yeah. Nobody knows when their timing is. So with that being said, people are gonna give what they can with the time that they have here, and then 100%. After they leave, you just have to take what they've given you and grow from it. Yeah. That's all you can do. You can't just sit there and grieve forever, and that's normal to do for a little bit. But like you just got to keep pushing.
Yeah, and we don't got to get too deep on this topic here, but like faith-wise, right? It seems like you've also like as you kind of grown, as you got a bit older, like you also like strengthened in that area and like
absolutely
shifted in that area.
Faith is one of the most like important things, if not the most important thing about my life, because nothing else will revolve around anything if it doesn't have anything to revolve around. Yeah. Everything else is just purposeless, and that's kind of how I grew and developed like my purpose through faith. Yeah,
absolutely, man. No, I definitely do. Appreciate you sharing all that.
No, absolutely. Because it's like, I feel like it's all inspirational to someone out here that might want to hear it, that might need to hear it.
Yeah, because sometimes like people see each other and we just know surface level stuff. Yeah, it can quickly just like have quick conversations and laugh, but you never know what's deep down in that person, what's really going on. Yeah, what's also behind the scenes, what made this person, and you gotta like respect the truth and appreciate it. So.
No, facts, and that's why I don't ever mind talking and being vulnerable and open about it, because like that's life. That is real life.
And like you literally said, there could be someone watching right now and be like, oh, wow.
I needed to hear that.
I needed to hear that right now. Exactly. And like,
I don't want to hide that.
Yeah, respect.
Yeah, appreciate you, man.
No, definitely.
Always.
Yeah. But, so I know I'm still going like through this timeline and everything, you know.
Hey, man, I'm chilling.
We talked earlier, like the vision of the podcast is, you know, sharing the journey. This is almost like the journey of the BackPackKid.
Yeah, like, no.
Like, no, like literally, you know, typically.
I feel like it's interesting.
Like typically, like we'll focus on goals. We do.
15-year-old kid just doing all this. Yeah, like, that's interesting. Even if I wasn't that kid, like even other influencers that are in the exact same position as me, like I'm still really interested in how they like were doing it. Like, whoa, like how did you do this? How did you do that? How do we compare in our situations? And like, because I'm a human being too. Like, as a human being, that's interesting.
Yeah.
Like, whether you're in that position or not, like you're interested in how other people was doing it.
Absolutely. No,
but
definitely.
With people being interested, I like to share that.
Yeah. No, definitely. And acting is a huge space, right? You could get. I mean, the age limit on that is almost like you could be an actor for forever. Exactly. Pretty much forever.
Yeah.
You know. And what are some like your favorite like? Is there like an actor that you like?
Jim Carrey, bro.
Jim Carrey.
Oh my gosh, Jim Carrey.
You already knew.
Jim Carrey is a legend. Jim Carrey, he's so himself, so unique.
Yeah.
So unique.
Yeah.
There will never be another Jim Carrey.
Yeah.
And that's inspirational. Like seeing how he is makes me want to be the most me I can be, type thing. And yeah, Jim Carrey for acting is definitely one of my biggest acting inspirations, I would say.
Yeah, definitely. And right now, like, what is it actively that you're doing right now when it comes to the acting space? So we had a couple guests on before you. We had two of them that were in the acting space.
Yeah.
So they shared their journey on like casting, auditions, connections, like this, like you know, like we had a guest. I think it was episode 2. He was a teacher at a school, like literally a teacher,
like a high school teacher.
He was I think it was either middle or high school. Let's say high school. I think it was high school. His name's Marcos Lucas, and he was a teacher in the school. He ends up becoming an actor in a movie, right?
Yeah, as he's a teacher.
As a teacher, at that school they shot it.
Was it like a big movie?
I don't know how big it was, but it was pretty.
I mean, why they shoot it at the school?
No, it was a scene, like one of the scenes.
Oh, there's like a classroom scene, like at the school.
Yeah, okay. But it happened to be like this time around, he was an actor instead of an actual teacher.
Yeah,
like that full circle moment.
Yeah,
I don't know. I just thought it was crazy.
And they shot a scene at his school.
At his school,
as he was an actor.
Yeah,
that probably felt so good.
Yeah, you know, it's like full circle.
So good.
It's like he went from a job to like working on his passion.
Yeah, exactly.
Like it's like whoa. But check this out. Your body, you're still the same exact person.
Yeah.
You're just in a different context now in that situation.
Yeah.
So it's like when you go back full circle, like we talked about Katy Perry.
Yeah.
Like you're still the same person.
Yeah.
Still same kid. Still same everything.
Absolutely.
Maybe even same hairstyle at the time. We'll see.
We'll see.
But you're gonna be in a different like life position overall.
Yeah. No, exactly.
So
exactly. Like it's just gonna improve.
But yeah, what is it right now that you're working on the acting space to keep sharp, but also like what are some of your visions around what are you actively doing? And also, I don't know if we answered the question about like where you're allocating your time. Like,
oh yeah. Let me answer that question. Let me answer that question.
I just randomly remembered right now. I was like, yeah. Do we answer that?
I would say percentage wise, I would try to keep myself like 70 or like I would say 60-40, with that 40% being going out and finding the work for myself, going out and finding the jobs, like either social media related or music related or acting related. And then that 60% is like going to acting class, honing in on my craft, getting better at that, making music. I go TikTok live a lot. That's what I've been doing a lot recently. Making music and like working on compositions and stuff. Because my acting teacher for my acting class, he's working on a short film that I'm going to be scoring. Yeah. So that's what I spend a lot of my time on. And then on top of that, working out. Yeah. Trying to stay fit. That's a big part of it too. Yeah. And then, just like a lot of reading, the occasional like scroll TikTok for hours and then get off of it and be like, what am I doing? Yeah. We're all human. Really, I'd like to spend a lot of my time self-growing. Because at the end of the day, that's all that's going to matter. Like, distractions, I feel like, are at the very surface level of yourself, and they're keeping you from learning the true depths of yourself. Yeah. So if you can just kind of move all those distractions away, the deeper into yourself you can get, and the more you learn about yourself and why you do what you do and why you enjoy doing what you do and all that.
Yeah. No, definitely. Wow. No, that makes total sense. Just really honing in on that
content creation is a part of that 62. But I can knock out a few videos in like an hour or so.
Yeah.
I became more efficient at it. That's just what happens when you've been doing it for a while.
Yeah. No, definitely, for sure.
I don't spend 3 days on one video like some other influencers. I can't. Yeah.
No, that makes sense. And I know you mentioned before, so have you been in any movies yet? Like any kind of movies or shows specifically?
I've done some independent freelance work in Houston. I did a short film. I did one of the episodes for a show that they're doing out there. some rich guy. He's just kind of like shooting a movie,
Yeah.
and he invited me out. But the thing is, there's a lot of filming in Atlanta.
Yeah.
So like when I can, I like to do a lot of background work, or a lot of extra work, because that's where you meet the people that are shooting these films, or like need someone to score their film or something.
Yeah.
So like being around other actors and around other people that also do the same thing as you, that's what'll get you closer and closer to what you're trying to do.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Like just staying home all the time making videos and whatever, that's cool. But I like to get out of the house. I like to get out of the house and meet other people that are doing what I'm trying to do as well.
No, definitely.
And it's all about connections. It's all about relationships.
100%. That's what I've been hearing too. I mean,
it's all about connections.
In general, like that's.
If you got the talent and then you know everyone, you're good.
Yeah.
You have the talent, you know everyone, you're good.
Yeah. No, absolutely.
There'll be something for you.
Yeah, that makes total sense. And
I actually had an acting agent for a few months.
That was what I was gonna ask you. That was my next question. Is like, do you have someone that's helping you out in that area, or like?
In the acting space, my acting teacher, he's definitely helping me a lot out. He's definitely helping me out a lot with like auditions and how to go about certain things in the acting world, and like do this, don't do this, don't do this. But yeah, I had an agent for about half the year last year, and they only got me a few auditions in that time period. So in the new year, they just sent out a spam email like, yo, anyone that doesn't want representation anymore for the new year, just let me know, and we'll just go ahead and call it quits on our relationship, and it's all love. So I was like, I'm gonna go ahead and do this. Maybe I might just look around for another agent, or maybe just go independent for a little while and just find casting directors and stuff on my own. Just trying to find one that fits what I'm trying to do, I guess. Because I could definitely go with an agency that will work me more than that agency was, type thing. Because I mean, everyone has a vision for someone that they see. Like if someone if an agency signs you as an actor, they're like, we'll just kind of add him to the roster, or it's like, this guy has a look. This guy has a look. This guy got it. Like I'm gonna pitch him to everything. And it's really just about finding that agent that's going to be on fire for you as much as you are on fire for your craft. Yeah,
dude, that's perfectly well said. It's someone that's...
It's for everything. It's for anything that's agency-related. Modeling, music, a label, a manager, an agent for anything.
And then at that end, you just got to deliver your...
You got to
deliver what you, like, you know, what you
said you're going to deliver.
Yeah, like
doing auditions.
Deliver your promise pretty much. Like, yo, I'm going to hold this down. You hold this down. We're good. Like, I'm going to perform. Just put me on the court. Put me on the court. I'm going to do my thing.
Exactly.
And that's it.
But you got to put me on the court.
Yeah, exactly. No, and it takes... Some things take time, right? It takes time. And what I've also noticed, and you probably understand this too, is like... You're going to catch yourself a lot on the sidelines. Yeah. You know? And you don't want to get discouraged.
Yeah, no, absolutely. You know? And that's why I like doing background and extra roles. It kind of keeps me a little grounded. Because people come up to me like doing background, I get noticed all the time. Like, yo, why are you doing background? Like, why aren't you like the super main actor in this movie? I'm like, I mean, like, I like to get out of the house and meet new people. Like, I wasn't really doing anything today. Yeah. Like, go out and just be on set, meet new people. Like, people that could be of use to my future and stuff like that. Like, I'm not mad at that. Like, if you got a problem with it, then I'm sorry, but like I have no problem like just getting out of the house for the day and being on set and doing something like this. Wow. Like, obviously the goal is to get the big actor roles, but that takes time. Just because I'm in this position doesn't mean it's gonna happen immediately.
Dude, 100% understand. Yeah. And honestly, like respect to that kind of personality. Because if someone else, if a couple other people had your life, they would probably be embarrassed to step out and take that kind of role. But you're kind of like, yo, like I'm, like I
I'll be having a good ass time.
Yeah, and that's what it's about. Yeah.
Nah, I'll be having a good ass time because we'd just be chopping it up and joking around. They'd be cool. They're other actors. Like they all be super cool. So like I'd just be chasing a good time, man. Like in concerts and stuff, I would very gladly be in the very middle of that mosh pit in the crowd. Yeah. Than being like over here in the back, just kind of like woo. Yeah. Like that, they having fun in that mosh pit. I'm over there. I'm in there jumping. That's what I did at Rolling Loud. I was in Rolling Loud. I was like in the like there's a stage and then there's like this middle part for the media people, and then there's the crowd. And they was all noticing me in the crowd while I was in the media pit. Yeah. And they was like, yo, come out here. And I was like, yo, hold my backpack to my manager. And I just went over there and just started jumping around with them. Came right back. I was like, yo, like, they was lit. Yeah. Like, I like to be where the energy is. That's a big thing for me. I like to be where the energy
100%.
is. 100%.
Yeah. I was going to say, man, you didn't bring a backpack. I had a backpack today. You didn't.
I have a backpack.
Oh, you did?
Here.
Oh, yeah, you did.
I don't go anywhere without it.
I was like, I didn't see you wearing this. So I was like, hold up. Did you even bring it back? Yeah, dude, 100%.
Yeah, no, yeah.
He He's like, y'all putting this on, it's the brand.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, because, like, even outside of just being the backpack kid, it's useful. I have, like, a charger in there.
Dude,
and,
I
like
love
mints
backpacks.
and stuff. Like, it's just useful.
Yeah.
It's just useful to have around. Like, I never forget the things I need if it's in the backpack. Like, just leave it in the backpack.
No, dude, 100%.
Super useful. It's the most useful brand ever. Being the backpack kid.
Have you ever had anyone reach out to you from backpacks? Like,
oh yeah, no, I've had so many backpacks sent to me over the past. But usually when it comes to backpacks, since that's the name of the brand, we're trying to do some paid collaboration with them or something.
Okay.
Yeah.
Dope. Wow. Oh man, so the acting side, you're kind of expressing that, like what it takes to kind of do it, and where you're at where you're at with that
Everything
right now.
takes time because like I'm also really trying to attack like the composition side of things too, because I have a really deep passion for making music, and like I've taken the time to learn about the craft and learn about like how certain sounds make you feel and everything, and it's definitely because I'm also, on top of being a composer, I'm also like just a normal music producer. Yeah. Like I'll either make beats or like little jingles for like companies and stuff. Yeah. That's also what I'm trying to get into. It's called sync licensing, and like it's where you make beats for like commercials or like a video game or something like that. More so than like sending a beat to a rapper or singer or something. There's big money in sync licensing. You don't have to get nobody to rap on it or whatever. You just make a good quality beat, send it to whoever might need it. They say yes or no. Yeah. And so that's another version of music I'm trying to get into. That's another field of music I'm trying to get into on top of film composition.
Wow, that's dope. So, because I wanted to talk about the music side too. So on the acting side, so I know like how we started like early, 13 years old, jumping into the creative space, starting off with dance, what kind of molds you into acting because you're like, this is ultimately what you want to do. Yeah. And then now you're in the space right now where you're auditioning, continuously practicing, etc. So that's where you're at right now. So to finish up the acting topic, like, what's next for you? Like, what are you looking forward towards in acting? Maybe like something this year, or just like in general, like it's a very open question. Yeah. What are you looking forward towards acting? Like,
I would say my favorite thing about acting so far has been like the ego crack of it. Like if you go in there trying to act all big shot, trying to act like you know everything, trying to act like you're the biggest one ever, you will fall flat hard. You will fall flat hard. But like being in acting class and like thinking I did a good job, and the teacher's like, no, that was terrible. Because my teacher's blunt, he is straight up, and I love that. I love that he's honest about it because he's been doing it for a while. Like he knows what he sees and everything. So like it's constructive criticism, but that also goes along with like your life. Like if you all puffed up, all big and bad, going wherever, you gonna fall flat. And then it's about learning a skill that like teaches you more about yourself that I really enjoy about it, and that goes into my craft, and that'll go into the roles I do in the future. Because like, I really want to do. Have you seen the movie Dumb and Dumber?
Yeah, of course.
Yeah, Dumb and Dumber. I would love to do a movie like that with another comedy guy, and just be a comedy duo or something.
When you were talking, that's what I could see you in the comedy space.
No, absolutely. No, I
couldn't see you doing a serious role.
I would love to. Yeah, and I would love to try it.
I'm pretty sure you could. I feel like naturally, the comedy side would be like easier for you. Yeah. It's not saying that you couldn't do the other side. You could adapt to it, figure it out.
It would just be a little bit more tedious.
Yeah, but comedy would be more at home.
Yeah,
I feel like you'd leave the set and still be laughing about a joke from the set.
Absolutely. Like that's I would say his dream role. Yeah, that's dream role. I want to be like Jim Carrey and inspire. Like he inspired me to be the truest version of myself, because that's what Jim Carrey was, and he had the time. I respect that. Yeah, because I seen Jim Carrey's documentary. He like method acted the entire performance of I forgot the name of the movie, but he was he was playing Andy Kaufman in his movie or something. I forgot the name of that movie. But yeah, so like even when they weren't filming, he was like, "Oh, I'm Andy Kaufman. Andy Kaufman. I'm Andy Kaufman. I'm Andy Kaufman." And like it like in the entire documentary was that process of him like being this character, and like he went mentally insane because he wasn't Jim Carrey anymore. He was Andy Kaufman. He was this other person. I was like, whoa, like that's crazy. He could do that so well. And like he wouldn't even let people call him Jim Carrey. They'd be like, oh, my name's Andy. Why are you calling me Jim? Everyone on set was very irritated, but they're like, screw it, just do whatever. No, definitely. Like that's inspirational.
No, for sure, 100%.
To be that locked in on what you're doing.
Yeah, almost like don't call me by my real name.
Literally, like he probably
that's not me.
He probably took out his phone and like didn't know the passcode. He was so locked in. Like that's focus. Yeah, that is focus. That is laser focus. If he can do that, he can do whatever he wants. Focus wise, distractions don't bother him. Yeah, distractions don't bother him. He was that person. That's crazy.
Wow. No, definitely.
Probably even when he was going to the bathroom, he was that person.
Like 100% all day. Man, so going to the music side, because acting, I mean, I feel like that's pretty clear. Like now you've kind of really laid out like where that started from, where you're trying to do with the next steps and everything. It's just like an ongoing thing. Like literally 5 years from now, it doesn't matter how big you are in acting, you're still waiting on the next gig.
Yeah.
Whether you're gonna accept, decline, what you're gonna do with that, it's
up to you. It's always
gonna
be like that.
But it's always like you're on the sidelines. Always.
Yeah.
Practicing, honing in on your craft, and when you're called up, you're ready to perform.
Exactly.
And boom. So
don't be unprepared. Yeah.
Yeah.
Don't be unprepared.
Yeah. So for the music side, because I know recently, did you release something recently too with one of your friends maybe?
Oh,
or something?
yeah.
So like you're still active in that space too. Like I know you're making beats, but like you're also like still releasing stuff. Like how has that been for you? So I know like to take a step back, like dancing, going through everything, and like when did everything kick off on the music side?
On the music side.
When was it like?
So I dropped a song called Flossin' in 2018. Back in that time when I was making music, I didn't really have like much of a passion for it, I would say, especially for rapping or singing. Like I was doing it for fun. Yeah. But then when I got older, I realized that like I'm not a big fan of like my rapping or my singing voice. So like I still like music. Everyone likes music. Yeah. What's something that I could do in the field that I would be good at, that I also really enjoy? Yeah. So that's when I started getting on the piano, and like I play the ukulele a little bit too. And
did you always play the piano growing up?
Nah, I started when I was 18.
Oh wow! So literally 3 years ago.
Yeah, literally 3 years ago is when I started. Yeah, so I started when I was 18. And then that got me into making beats, because it just all goes hand in hand with like music theory and learning like the keys and the scales and the notes and everything. Yeah. So I started getting on that pretty soon, and started making content around that. Started making content around my acting too, and started just making content around what I've been doing these past few years, and people have really been enjoying it. Yeah. Like how I was telling you, I've been going like TikTok live making beats. I'll have 2,000-3,000 people just sitting there watching me do what I love to do. Yeah. And like I'd be forgetting that I'm live or like recording a video sometimes. I'll just be like, oh, shoot, what's going on, y'all? Or something like that. Like I'd be getting into it. Yeah. But that's what I feel like is important. Like if you can do something, if you can go live or set up the camera and you doing what you're doing and you love doing it so much to the point you forget that that's there when there's thousands of people watching, like you really, really love that. Yeah. You really, really like that. And nobody can tell you anything about it. Dang. Nobody can tell you anything about it. So that's when I realized my passion for that. But it's like that for acting. Like when you start to get emotional in a scene, like you start to get into it. Like you locked in. You're not worried about what so and so has to say about what's going on. Like you're into it. Yeah. And that's what I like to do. I like to get into what I'm doing. Yeah, if I can't 100%. Get into it, I don't really like it, I guess. Like I'll do it, but like I really like to do things that like evoke emotion. Like acting is a very big emotional evocation. Yeah. Same with music. And I'm still discovering like the other types of creative ordeals you can do like with your time. But so far those are the two things that I've discovered are the most fun things to do with what I have. Yeah, like definitely. I have a piano. If I didn't have a piano, I wouldn't play the piano. Yeah. Like sure. Like keyboards and stuff. Yeah. Like if I didn't have access to a phone, I wouldn't be able to do self-tape auditions. If I didn't have access to an acting class, I wouldn't be able to get better at my craft as easily as I am able to now. But it's just really making do with what I have, honestly, and that's all that matters. That's where your creativity comes in. Like whether you have the world or not, you can make something shake if you just know how to maneuver. Yeah, no, definitely, 100%, man. That's totally agree. And you're still actively working on the music side. That's something like absolutely. Like, I'll be live 3-4 hours a day and just sit there and make music, and people go around posting videos and stuff like, oh, he was making this. It's like, yo, like this dude is really good at actually playing this instrument. Yeah. Like this dude actually knows how to do something other than just a floss. Yeah. And that's what keeps people sticking around, because it's like, okay, now that I see that he like does this well, what's he gonna do with it? Yeah. That's the big thing. What's he gonna do with it? Like he has this skill, he has this talent. What's he gonna do with it? I'm excited. I'm waiting. I'm on the edge of my seat, just waiting to see what he's gonna do with it. And it's gonna be big. And it's gonna be big. And I'm waiting for it. And I'm gonna be there. I'm gonna be there supporting when it happens, because I'm here supporting now.
Yeah, no, for sure.
And that's where a lot of my audience has been built since that. Because even a lot of people now, they'll come up to me and be like, "Hey, yo, BackPackKid," and I'll be like, "Yeah, what's going on?" He's like, "Yo, I'll be seeing you on live, like making beats and stuff," and like that makes me feel so good. Like it not just being floss. It's been a lot of that recently too. Yeah. Like oh, I've been seeing you on TikTok. Like I seen your last post or your last video doing that or this, or I saw your Instagram video of you playing the piano or something or this and that, and like that makes me feel really good. Like when people are seeing me for the other things that I do, because that's the goal. Like that's what I'm trying to push towards in the future.
100%. I feel like if you continue at that rate, honestly, I think people are gonna have to search up and be like, how did this kid start?
And that's what I be thinking. That's what I be thinking. Like,
you know what I'm saying? They'll be
I
like,
forgot I made the dance.
Yeah, they're gonna be like, yo,
exactly.
This kid started with the floss dance. What's that? Like, let's say 10 years from now.
Like this dude is a crazy actor, composer.
Yeah, like where is this guy
on
from?
the highest scale? And like, where did this dude start? He started doing a dance.
Yeah,
like when he was 15.
Yeah, so
that's how it be. That's how it's gonna be.
Yo,
that's
respect.
How it's gonna be.
This is why, like, when I spoke to you, when we first met. We had a pretty good conversation when we first met. Like, it was like literally.
Absolutely, I love talking to people because that's where you get new ideas.
Yeah, and it's like
I live in a 1-bedroom, like just being cooped up all day with the dog. It's like I have just my thoughts, and then when I run out of thoughts, it's like okay, let's go to the bell line and interact with people and just be around other people and get new ideas, be in a new environment and stuff. Just get new ideas because that's how the world revolves. Like like the biggest, most famous, or the biggest, most successful people in the world. They didn't just use their ideas. Yeah. Except for maybe, I don't know, like J.K. Rowling, where she probably just locked herself in a room and made Harry Potter and however long. But that's a rare case scenario. That's a rare case scenario.
Shout out Harry
Potter. She still had to reach out to thousands of publishers before one said yes.
Of course. No, definitely. But that's what I feel like. No, I think the way in the direction that you're kind of
moving, locked in. Yeah. She was locked in. She had a vision and she made it happen.
Oh, man. No, 100%. Next time I see you, you're gonna be like, yo, I'm writing a book now.
Maybe. Oh, why
not? But
I would want to do that in the future though. Make it like a documentary or something. Because one of the biggest talent agencies in the country, it's called CAA, Creative Artists Agency. Yeah. They're based out of LA. They reached out to me about making a documentary, and or something like that. But we came to the conclusion that like it's just too early. Yeah. It's just too early.
You should never rush that one.
Yeah, you should never rush that. Like, there's so much I have to accomplish before, like, what if I make a documentary right now? In the next 2 years, I do some crazy stuff. It's like, what was the point? Yeah. Like, hold on, let's at least wait till I, like, get that next thing that's, like, this first thing I did. And then maybe it'll make sense.
Yo, you make a documentary when you sit down with Katy Perry again.
Exactly.
And then Jim Carrey walks in.
That's the documentary.
He walks in and then it's like, and it just turns off.
The full circle, yeah.
It just, as they're walking in the room, they're excited to see you, it just turns off. Boom.
I'm saying that, no, exactly. Like it starts
All right, I got you, I'm a director.
It starts off with the SNL clip and then it ends on the on the full circle moment when I meet Katy again. Yeah.
And then Jim Carrey's trying to get in to meet you.
Yeah. That's the documentary. Right. That's the documentary. That's why we're like, it's just too early. Yeah. Like, I've done a lot in that time period, but just wait.
Yeah, man, I'm excited. Wait. This is why I love also even on the podcast side, like, I feel like...
You get to see a lot more of this than a lot of other people because you're doing the interview. Like, you're asking the questions that you want to ask.
Yeah, and it's like also a collection of like experiences, you know?
Facts.
All these collections of experience. Because what's life? Life is a collection of your experiences and decisions you make. Yeah. You know?
That's all it
is. And then how you have control over that. Yeah. Because like you said, remember how you said like, oh, I could be here or I could be like turned up in the crowd like doing this. Exactly. You made the decision to be like, you know, I want this side more. Lit. That's just for me. Yeah. So
just do what you think is best for you.
Yo, I got a little excited there when I was visualizing that documentary. I'm like, yo, this has got to happen too.
I'm gonna hit you up to be the director, man.
No, this is gonna be fun, man. But no, that's dude, this is exciting. This is why when you and I met and you were like talking to me about acting and everything, I wanted people to like see this side of of yourself of like,
and I like sharing about it
as you're like, molding into that. Yeah. And you know, even like what you take from there. But man, a random question: what's your favorite color?
Blue. Blue.
Always been blue?
It's probably changed a couple times. Yeah. I just like colors. Like I've always just leaned towards more vibrant colors than darker colors. Like I like light orange or like light blue or like a light red or a light like any color over like a darker color. Yeah. I mean darker colors can be cool too. It's good to stay open minded, but like you like to catch the eye and the eye 100%. Gravitates towards the brighter colors. Yeah. And so that's just what I like. No. Brighter colors equals higher energy equals more fun. I don't know.
Yeah, definitely.
I don't know.
Isn't your hoverboard blue? It's got some blue on it.
I have a few hoverboards.
Oh, is it you?
Yeah, I have a few.
I think it was one that was like white and blue. I was on my skateboard, so we went by quick. We just like dapped each other up.
No, I actually had 6 at one point.
6?
Yeah, because people are selling them on Facebook Marketplace for dirt cheap because nobody rides them anymore. Yeah. But I've broken like 4 of them.
Oh wow.
And then
Dang.
Yeah, I kind of just run them to the ground. Especially when you have 6, it's like, oh, screw it.
Yeah.
Because you get them on Facebook Marketplace like, what, $20, $30, and then boom.
Yeah, no, definitely. Well, man, yeah, dude, just to kind of like full circle recap all of this too, man. It's been, I don't know, super exciting just hearing about your journey, even like earlier from starting like your influence from your mom on the creative side.
Yeah.
And then you just, really exploring your creativity, trying, on the dance side, and
especially as I was growing up, because like when you're a kid, you're kind of honed in from your parents a little bit more. Yes. But then as I became like a more independent adult, that's when I got the full creative control of how I was gonna go about my life creatively and businessly and all the alleys.
Yeah, and it's like the whole vision, like with the podcast and the LifeResume app, is like sharing the journey.
Yeah.
Because everyone sees the destination.
Yeah.
And then they're like, oh yeah, he just became this.
And the people that like the journey are the people that are interested in having their own journey. Like the people that just care about the destination, they don't care much about their own journey. Yeah. Like, because why would they? If they don't even appreciate this person's journey, like you're not just looking at Michael Jackson. Like a musician is not just looking at Michael Jackson like, oh, he's a big pop artist. They're looking at how he got there. They're looking at what he did. Yeah. Because they're trying to have their own journey of their own. So like a journey like that can inspire them. Yeah. But if they're just looking at the destinations, like they're gonna have no inspiration about even how to start their journey. Yeah. No. So it's the people that are interested in the journey are the people that you want to be around in life. Honestly, life is a journey. Life 100%. Is always a journey.
100%. And there's a beauty behind the journey, and
the journey, because you don't want to have destination sickness. Yeah. And be like, oh, once I have $1 million, I'll be okay.
And I promise you, once you get there, you're gonna be like, oh wow, I'm empty.
Yeah, no.
It's gonna be that whole bulk in the middle.
You gotta find what really makes you happy, and the destination is not gonna be that.
Oh, absolutely, man. Look, honestly, I know this is just like we're still at the grand scheme of your whole life. I feel like we're still at the beginning, you know? Like, we're really, but that beginning is so powerful for you so far. Facts. Like, you've been through so much, learned so much, developed.
Too much, it's too powerful to just, like go to waste. Yeah. Like, who would I be to just let this opportunity just fall flat? Yeah. Like, people would die to be in a position like this at a young age.
100%.
Like, who might have just like...
toss it away.
Like who might have tossed it away? Like that's a blessing. Like you gotta be grateful for your blessings and show it.
Yeah, no, 100%.
And I try to wake up every day like with that mentality. Like just me being 21 in like my own apartment in the middle of the city. Like that is a blessing, and I have to act like it. That is a blessing. I like 21, like being 21 and just having the financial stability to be able to live in their own place in the middle of the city where it's like a lot more expensive than the suburbs. Like that is a blessing. I need to act like it because it is, and I need to realize it. And if I'm not acting like it, I better get myself straight because this is a blessing. As far as as well as my ability to hear, my ability to see, my ability to taste and smell. So COVID made people lose that. Definitely. Like that is all a blessing. Everything around is a blessing. The more you realize that, the more you get to it, and the happier you are for it.
Yeah, I'm gonna say something too, cause like I sometimes like journal and write stuff, and at the end of my journal, like I'll come up with a quote, like not even forcefully, just it summarizes everything. Yeah. And I got this one quote that's like, compare yourself with yourself, make sure yourself is the greatest. Mm-hmm. So check this out. If someone else, because you know how everyone's kind of like, oh well, like this person they got it easier because they're this. Well, imagine if someone else lived your same exact life. Yeah. Would they have gone further than where you're at right now? If you think of it that way, it makes you challenge yourself every day to be like, I'm about to give it. Like no one, if they lived my life could have went harder. This is the hardest you can go. This is the cap. This is the hardest. This is it.
But that's you being grateful for your position.
Exactly. So
you're alive right now.
Exactly. So you waking up in the morning and capitalizing on like, no one can live my life greater than like this version.
How I can live my life.
Boom. Yeah. So like.
Facts.
Yeah. So like.
Ain't nobody living my life better than me.
Yeah. So it's like.
What? Ain't nobody living my life better than me.
Yeah. So keep capitalizing on that, and it's like, no, man. I'm like again, man. I'm proud of like the person thus far of like.
I appreciate
that. I know the version of you, and
especially speaking about it out loud like reminds me of that too. Yeah. All the time. Yeah. That's why I like doing stuff like this. Yeah. Doing stuff like this, it helps me remind myself why I do what I do.
Yeah, no, for sure, man. No, definitely. And again, man, appreciate you hopping on the podcast, Share the Journey podcast.
You.
And
you know, fun.
Everything that we got going. Yeah, so appreciate you, man. Thank you. Dude, I feel like I got to know you even way more.
Man,
but,
I appreciate you.
Yeah, definitely.